Turkish Prime Minister Ahmet Davutoğlu revealed that he personally gave the order to down the Russian Su-24 fighter jet that led to the death of one pilot, despite all the warnings we had to destroy the aircraft, said Davutoğlu to a meeting of his AK party, going on and saying the Turkish armed forces carried out orders given by me personally. Both Davutoğlu and Turkey's President Erdogan, who is the commander-in-chief of the nation's armed forces, I should mention, continued to defend this decision to shoot down the Russian Su-24 because the country has a right to defend itself, and that includes defending its national airspace. And they insist that the Su-24 aircraft made an incursion into Turkish airspace that lasted 17 seconds, and that is the time during which it was shot down. There was a letter sent to the UN Security Council by the United Nations, by Turkey's permanent mission to the United Nations, rather, and it says that for 17 seconds, the Russian Su-24 was inside Turkish territory, and this is where it gets really interesting. NATO announced that they agree with Turkey's claim, and they pledged to stand in solidarity with Turkey's decision to shoot down this Russian plane. If you're skeptical that this is just about Turkey defending their sovereignty and their borders and their airspace, the question is, what does Turkey have to gain from this, right? This appears to be a move to start creating more tension with Russia to prevent a West plus Russia coalition to fight ISIS. And this is the type of thing we're seeing French President Francois Hollande attempt to do after the horrible attacks in Paris recently. In fact, right after this happened, the cover of French newspaper Le Figaro said, quote, Turkey sabotages coalition against ISIS by shooting down this Russian plane. So this was probably something that in Turkey they were just waiting for. Wait for any misstep by Russia. We'll get entangled and we will break up this possible coalition.
It could very well be. Am I comfortable saying 100% that's the case? No.
But are you ever comfortable saying anything 100%?
I can 100% say that your hair is looking better than usual today.
Thank you.
You got your product back. But look, Russia responded, right? They said, no, we're not going to go to war. They imposed sanctions immediately. There is something to be said for just not allowing Russia to bully you, because Russia has a tendency to be a bully.
At the same time, ever since Paris, right? The Russians haven't said anything against the West. The US and EU haven't said anything anti-Russian or against Assad either. Now, it may be, well, people are preoccupied with other things. It's abundantly clear that Erdogan's aim is to get rid of Assad. We know that Russia has been getting involved to try to maybe prevent the ousting of Assad. They claim it's just about fighting ISIS. So it's pretty clear that there are conflicts of interest here and drastically different goals. And this is a sort of interesting way to get in the middle of it. And let's not forget, I want to remind you, Lewis, we have this list of things that the Turkey's Erdogan has done. And we have this list that we will show people. He has censored genitalia and proper names of genitalia from biology textbooks. He has banned the military from watching shows with nudity like Game of Thrones. He took issue with kissing on daytime television. He rewrote history to make it more patriotic. He says Islam positions women for motherhood and that you just can't explain that to feminists. And he also blamed a mining disaster on Jews when Jews clearly had nothing to do with it. And most recently said he is increasingly against the internet. So we know what type of administration we're dealing with in Turkey, Lewis. In many ways, Turkey considered one of the more moderate countries of the region, but certainly the statements we've seen over the last 2 years from Erdogan don't suggest that much moderation, do they?
No, he seems to be very religious, and he kind of takes after some other dictators in that region in some ways, but
and not in other ways.
Right. It's still considered a secular nation, and like we said, as far as Muslim countries go, it's very progressive. Yeah, we're not fans of the guy, Dave. He's pretty extreme himself.
That's for sure. If you believe in free speech, how could you possibly think that Erdogan is the guy for you? You just couldn't, unless you don't understand what free speech is, and many people don't, as we increasingly are aware of. Let's take a break. I'm on Twitter at @dpakman. Lewis is on Twitter at @LewisMotamedy.